Right now, somewhere in northern Tanzania, a man named Hadza is sitting in the shade. He finished work 2 hours ago. He has nowhere to be. He is not anxious. He is not behind on anything. He has no mortgage, no inbox, no performance review. And every researcher who has ever lived with his people comes back saying the same thing. They seem happier than us. The question isn't why they're happy, the question is why we're not. For most of human history, this would have been a strange question. If you could travel back 10,000 years and ask someone whether they were stressed, they probably wouldn't understand what you meant. They understood hunger, they understood danger, they understood loss. But the feeling of constantly being behind, the feeling that there is always one more thing you should be doing, that feeling is surprisingly new. And that's strange, because by almost every measurable standard, our lives should be better than theirs. We live longer, we have medicine, we have electricity. We have supermarkets filled with food from every corner of the world. A hunter-gatherer has none of that. And yet, when anthropologists began living among some of the last remaining hunter-gatherer societies, they kept noticing the same pattern. People worked less, laughed more, and spent enormous amounts of time simply being together. Not producing, not optimizing, not improving themselves, just existing. At first, researchers assumed this couldn't be true. The popular image of prehistoric life was brutal, a constant struggle for survival, every day spent desperately searching for food, every night spent fearing predators. But then the data started arriving, and it told a different story. In the 1960s, anthropologist Richard Lee began studying the Jew/Hwansi people of southern Africa. What he found surprised almost everyone. The average adult spent only a few hours per day gathering food, not 12 hours. Not 16. A few. The rest of the time was spent resting, talking, making tools, telling stories, or visiting friends. One anthropologist called hunter-gatherers the original affluent society. Not because they had more, because they wanted less. Think about that for a second. Modern society defines wealth as having an abundance of resources. Hunter-gatherers achieved something entirely different. They achieved an abundance of time. And time may be the one resource modern people feel they never have enough of. But that's only half the story. The deeper difference wasn't how much they worked, it was what work meant. Today, most people spend their days doing things whose results are delayed. You work now so you can get paid later. You save now so you can retire later. You exercise now so you can be healthier later. Much of modern life is built around postponing rewards. Hunter-gatherers lived differently. A successful hunt fed people that day. A gathered meal solved today's problem. The connection between effort and reward was immediate. Your brain knew why it was working, and that matters more than we realize. Because the human brain evolved in environments where actions had visible consequences. You tracked an animal. You found it. You ate. You helped your community. You saw the result. Today, a person might spend 8 hours moving numbers between spreadsheets. The effort is real, but the meaning is often invisible. And when effort loses meaning, motivation starts to collapse. This may explain one of the strangest features of modern life. Millions of people are exhausted without understanding why. Not because they are working harder than every human who came before them, but because their brains are trying to solve problems they were never designed to encounter. Problems like infinite emails, infinite news, infinite comparison, infinite goals. For nearly all of human history, there was a limit to how much information a person could consume. Today, there isn't. And your brain still hasn't figured out how to handle that. The result is a feeling many people know intimately. You finish one task, and instead of feeling satisfied, you immediately think about the next one. The finish line moves, again and again and again. A hunter-gatherer could be tired, but it's much harder to find evidence they lived with the modern sensation of never being finished. And here's the part that's strangest of all. Many of the comforts we created to make life easier may have accidentally removed the very things that made life feel meaningful. We gained convenience, but lost friction. We gained efficiency, but lost community. We gained endless entertainment, but lost shared experience. We made trades. The question is whether we understood what we were giving up. Because somewhere in northern Tanzania, that Hadza man is still sitting in the shade. He isn't living in the past, he isn't a relic of human history, he is a reminder that the human brain was shaped by a world very different from the one we built. And maybe the reason so many people feel lost isn't because something is wrong with them. Maybe it's because they are trying to be modern with a brain that still remembers being human.